Hello everyone, welcome back. I was shooting my Ruger Mark III today, and this is the one with the red dot on it. And for the first time, I decided to take it out to 110 yards. Now, when I had just the iron sights, I never really considered going past 30 yards. I mean, it just didn't seem practical. But ever since I put the red dot on this, I've had the urge to really try and push it and see how far I can take this and uh, you know how, what I can do with this red dot. Um, so that's been pretty exciting for me. So I'm gonna jump straight to the exciting stuff and then work my way back from there, telling you how I got there. So basically, at 110 yards, um, what I did is first, this is the first group I shot, and basically I had my red dot basically up here near the top of the center of the paper, and I got 3 hits. Okay, 3 hits. One, two, three. The ones that I have circled here. Um, and basically, what I noticed is that the wind, as you can see, those wind ribbons down there, is pushing about 20 miles per hour to the right. So I said, you know what, let me, I loaded up the magazine again. I said, let me take another 10 shots. And what I did the second time around is I put my red dot in this top, this top left corner over here. And basically the wind, brought my shots in. And out of 10 shots, I got, yeah, it's two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 on the paper. I believe this is a 4-inch cluster from the two widest, no, 4.5-inch cluster from the two widest points. I'm not going to call this a 4-shot group because we don't know where the other 2 shots went. They could be way out there. But still, I think that this is great. I mean, a lot of times when I'm shooting a 22 rifle at 110 yards, I mean, on average, this is more or less what I get, even with the rifle. Now, mind you, this is my best group with this, with this Ruger Mark III pistol with the red dot. Um, I tried to replicate it, so I said, let me try this again. And mind you, the wind has been, it's been pushing to the right, and it's been somewhat inconsistent, and basically, I did took another 10 shots, and they went, and what I did is I think I tried to, basically I put the red dot in this top left corner here to compensate for that 20-mile-an-hour wind to the right, and I got, the circles over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, the ones I have circled, and they're basically along the right edge, so the wind's pushing the bullets off to the right. So I said, let me do another 10 shots, and this time I put the red dot a little further out towards the left, and it did come in a little bit more, but I think the wind might have picked up. And basically, I ended up with 4 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so basically on average, I'm getting about 40% at 110 yards, and that's with a 20 mile an hour, 15 to 20 mile an hour wind to the right, which is amazing. I mean, this is not something I thought was even possible with a pistol. Um, Now to get to that point, let me show you some of the earlier shots. This is the 50-yard group that I did. Now, if you noticed, I had it. Basically, it grouped a little high, and I left it there. I left it high because I knew I was gonna end up going a little further back. What I believe I did is I actually moved the I moved it probably, I think, about 2 clicks to the right because it seemed like it was shooting a little bit to the left. So I did adjust the scope a little bit more towards the center. So that's what I got at the 50 yards with the red dot. And then I went to the 75 yards. At the 75 yards, first let's look at the ones I have circled. Okay, so I did a 10-shot group, and the ones that are circled here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The ones that are circled, and then I think I might have adjusted 1 click back to the right, and then that brought it more towards the center. That basically now I'm looking at the holes that I don't have circles. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And at that point, I went to I pushed it out to the 110 yards, and then I got that group that I showed you guys earlier. Probably my best group of the day, where I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shots. 8 out of 10 on the paper. We lost 2. We don't know where they went. But this is a 4.5-inch cluster. I'm not going to call it a group because, like I said, I don't know where those 2 shots went. So this is pretty amazing. I never really thought of shooting a pistol past 30 yards. I mean, I just didn't think it was, it was practical. I always thought it would be more of a waste of time and waste of ammunition. So at this point, I'm still using the Bushnell. Basically, I got a $50 scope on this because I'm still kind of experimenting. I didn't know, I think I'm getting to the point where I'm probably going to want to invest in a better scope for this pistol because I'm seeing that there's a lot of practical benefits, both at close range and certainly at distance. That's the direction I'm going into, and eventually I think I'm going to want to invest in the Glock MOS that is basically red dot ready. So that's where I'm going with that. Now, just out of curiosity, what I did is I also pulled out this Ruger Mark III that basically only has the iron sights. And I said, let's see what this can do by comparison. So what I did is first I shot it at 25 yards. I put my sights right under this bullseye. Now the iron sights on this gun are fixed. You can't adjust them. And basically what this gun does is it shoots low, a little bit low to the left, which I always kind of knew. At the typical when you're shooting 15 and 20 yards with that, it's usually not an issue. When I'm shooting the steel targets that I normally shoot, you'll get hits within 20 yards. It's just when you go at distance where this seems to make more of a difference. So basically I determined that this is shooting low to the left. So then what I did is I went out to the 50 yards. Now at 50 yards, since I knew that this was shooting low to the left, what I did is I put my bullseye in the top right corner. So I'm lining up my sights and I'm putting them basically underneath this bullseye here, and that's bringing the shots low, basically keeping them on the paper. That's what it's doing. So that's what my group looks like here, and it looks like I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the paper with just using the iron sights. Okay? And then I decided to let's take this out to 75 yards and see what I can do with this. I shot this 3 times, 10 rounds each time. And the first group is the circles. So now at the 75 yards, basically I'm putting the iron sights someplace up here, okay, in this top right corner. Now, mind you, I'm still contending with the wind because now on the one hand the gun shoots, decided to shoot low to the left. On the other hand, I got the wind pushing to the right sometimes. So I decided I'm going to start off by just aiming at this top right corner. And I've got, just looking at the circles, 1, 2, 3 hits. Okay, so 3 out of 10 hits. And then I said, you know what? Let me push it a little bit more towards the right and see what that does. And basically, again, I got 3 hits. So that's these X's, 1, 2, 3. And then I said, okay, now I'm gonna go way, basically I think I went almost a foot to the right over here. Basically I picked a point over here to the right and I was aiming underneath that. And I said, let me see what happens. And those are the holes that don't have marks on. So again, 1, 2, down here 3. So basically I'm, with just the iron sights, I'm getting consistently 3 out of 10 hits. A definite advantage to using the red dot at distance. Obvious advantage, even an advantage using it at medium range. The only place I have found some disadvantage to using the red dot is when you're shooting really close. And the reason is when you're shooting close, typically you need to shoot faster. Okay, when you're shooting at distance, you take more time to line up your sights. When you're shooting closer in a self-defense type of situation, I'm finding that I'm faster with the iron sights. Now, this, basically this gun does not have iron sights that are co-witness to the, to the red dot. If it did, that wouldn't be an issue because basically I would just ignore, because basically if you had iron sights that would co-witness to the red dot, I would just ignore the red dot at close distance and just use the iron sights. And if the red dot happens to be there, it's fine, and then at further distances, I can make more use of the red dot. So what I'm finding is that basically there's no reason not to have a red dot on a pistol. The one thing that that's become, the one thing I noticed was with the red dot on the pistol, it does add a significant amount of weight. Like if you hold the gun like this and you roll it, compared to a gun like this, on the rifle you will not notice those 4 or 5 ounces. Okay, because basically this is a very small percentage of the overall rifle weight. On a pistol, you will notice the weight because it is a greater percentage of the pistol's weight. So that's one of the things. One of the drawbacks I've noticed, other than obviously it makes the gun a little bit bigger. But there's some thoughts I want to share with you guys. I want to show you my shooting results at 110 yards with this Ruger Mark III pistol using a red dot, and we got a nice little cluster right here. So I definitely think that red dots on pistols are the future. Thanks for watching. Post some comments. Hit the thumbs up button. I'll talk to you guys next time.